Welcome to Razor by Shopper Training. My name is Brett Hughes, and I am the e-procurement administrator. You can reach me by email at rbtrain@uark.edu or by phone by dialing 479-575-2551. Our first order will be a catalog order with Staples. I click on Staples and am taken to the Staples site. When you do this for the first time on your computer, you'll have to allow pop-ups for this site. Once the punch-out opens, you're in the Staples Razor By site. Now we can begin to fill our cart. Today we're going to search for blue expo markers. I can search up here in the search bar and scroll to find the ones that I want. So I'm going to say add to cart, and I'm going to continue shopping. The next thing I'm going to look for are folders. I can again use the search bar. I also have filters on the side here that I can filter down. I'm going to purchase these colorful ones, so I will add to cart and continue shopping. And the last thing that I'm going to search for is paper. So I'm going to search in my search bar for paper and buy this first case of paper. Once I have all my items in my cart, I can say review and check out. Sometimes Staples gives this alternative products list. It is up to you and your department if you want to change from the name brand to the Staples brand of something. You can either update your cart or say no thanks to continue to the checkout process. This is your Staples cart. If you need to change the quantities of what is being ordered, you will need to change them in the punch-out. So I'm going to order 2 of the expo markers. So 2 boxes of expo markers and 2 boxes of the folders. And I can update my cart where the price change will be reflected. Once I have gotten all my quantities correct, I can say submit order. All the punch-outs say something different on this button, like submit order, checkout, create requisition. The button that looks like you should click it next will take you back into Razor By. I submit the order and am brought right back into Razor By. This is the first page of your Razor By cart. Here's where shoppers have 2 options depending on your department. At this stage, you can be done and assign the cart to your requester, or you can complete the proceed to checkout process. I will show the proceed to checkout process so you will know how to complete if your department wants. Once we proceed to checkout, we will have this nice bar across the top that tells us everything that needs to be entered for the requisition. We will walk through each tab. The first tab is the general tab. We'll say edit. We're going to walk through each field. The first field is the cart name. This is automatically today's date, your username, and the number of carts you're working on at that time. If you need to change this to something more meaningful, you can. The description is for your internal purposes if you need to put what is in the cart or anything that defines what the cart is to you. The prepared for phone number, and prepared for email address are for if you're creating this cart for someone else. You can put their information in there, and if there is a question about the cart, they will get called. Our first required field is our budgetary unit number. All yellow highlighted fields are required, so we'll say select from all values, and we get a custom field searched. The top bar, the value, wants numbers. The bottom bar, the description, wants letters. We will search for your budgetary unit, and you're looking for this 4-digit code. We'll select, and it pops it in. The tax exemption ID is for sale for resale items. If your department does not have a tax exemption ID, you will not need to use this field. Trademark and licensing is for if you need trademark and licensing approval. Anything with a U of A trademark or anything with a hog or a seal, anything like that will need to go by trademark and licensing for approval. We will say no for this order. The legal review and legal review form attached is for if you need legal review. Anything with a U of A authorized signature, a contract, or terms and conditions will need to go by legal review, and you will need to attach the legal review form on the requisition. The procurement review required checkbox will send this requisition to your procurement coordinator for review. If you need it to stop by your procurement coordinator, you can check this box. The software purchase is a yes or no question of did you purchase software? This sends a notification to IT letting them know software has been purchased. Taking payments. This means, are you taking in money for the institution? Are you buying software or hardware that will take in money? We will say no for this requisition. And lastly, in the general tab, we have the quote bid. Anything over $20,000 has to be bid. Up to $75,000, your department can bid themselves. If you have reached those limits, you will need to do a bid and say yes to this quote bid box. For this, we will say no, and then we will save. And now we have a green check in the general tab. The second tab is shipping. This is where you will search for your U of A shipping address. Click on Edit, and then search for the building you are located in, not the department. You can search by building name or street address. The university can only ship to U of A addresses. I am searching for the admin building to find the one that I am located in. Your name will automatically be populated, but you will have to include a room number. You can save this address for future use, give it a nickname, and make it the default address so you do not have to enter this every time. Say use, and then you are given a green check in shipping. Billing is third. Click on the Edit button and choose the first billing address, AVCB, University of Arkansas Accounts Payable. This one will always be used by the Fayetteville campus. You will want to save this address for future use and give it a nickname and make it the default because this one will never change. The other addresses here are Agri substations. If you are not located on the substation, you will not use that billing address. Now we have a green check in billing. Delivery always has a green check because there is nothing that needs to be filled out. The delivery date is automatically a couple days out, but that is just as good as the vendor looking at that and agreeing to it. Next is the Accounting Codes tab. This is where the cost center information is entered. There are 3 fields here that build off of each other: budgetary unit, cost center, and category. You cannot choose a cost center until you have chosen a budgetary unit. If you type in your budgetary unit number here, it will not automatically allow you to choose a cost center unless you have saved between each step. Here, it is easier to search for and select from all values to find your budgetary unit code. I will search for my budgetary unit and select my 4-digit code. Then I get a select from all values under the cost center. I can select from all values and I get a drop-down box. You may get a drop-down box or another search box depending on how many cost centers are in your budgetary unit. Once you find the cost center you want to use, you will get a select from all values under the category. Select from all values and choose the one you would like to use, and then you can save. Now we have a green check in Accounting Codes. Internal notes and attachments and external notes and attachments always have a green check, but these are used for notes and attachments needed in a requisition. Internal will stay within the university where only Razorby users can access it. External will go out with the purchase order to the supplier. Examples of an internal attachment would be a contract that has not been signed or quotes from a quote bid. Examples of an external attachment would be a contract that has been signed or a note to the vendor letting them to know to come to a certain door to the building. Anything you want your supplier to know or have goes in external attachments. Anything that is required by the university for our requisition records is internal. Lastly, the final review screen. This screen shows everything you have entered as well as the lines of the requisition at the bottom. Once on this screen with all green checks, you can assign the cart. Click on Assign Cart and click on Search for an Assignee. Type in the last name of who you want to assign the cart to in the user search. Once you find your requester, you can select and assign. You can also add this to your profile if you're going to assign to the same person every time. After you assign the cart, you're given a requisition number that you can use to track your order. This is a catalog order with a checkout process. The next type of order is a non-catalog. The non-catalog order form lives under the big search bar on the home page. All of our forms look similar. They have the name of the form at the top, the U of A logo, supplier information, and order information. The first step of any form is to choose a supplier. Click Supplier Search to search our supplier database. In today's scenario, we are going to buy a leg press from Belson Outdoors. So I will search for Belson and select my vendor. You want to make sure this distribution is a fax or email. If it says manual, nothing, or if it says buyers@uark.edu, it will be going out by U.S. mail. We prefer purchase orders to be sent out as an email or fax because they are quicker and easier to track. So if you see that it will go out by mail, but you know where to send it, let me know and I can update the file. After the supplier has been chosen, the order information needs to be completed. All bolded areas are required. However, if the other information is available, please include it. If I had a catalog number, I could include it, but I don't, so the first part I will complete is the product description. In real life, be as specific as possible so the supplier knows exactly what you're ordering. For today, I will just say leg press. If there was a contract in the system, I could choose it here. Next is quantity, and I'm going to order 1. Packed quantity and unit of measure. Most of the time, the unit of measure will stay each, but there are many ways to measure things. If updating these 2 fields, make sure it makes sense to how the vendor orders things. Next is the unit price, which today will be $3,200. You do not have to put commas, and if you include decimals, only put 2. The manufacturer name or part number are optional, and if I had them, I could include them. And next is the commodity code. Remember, this is an 8-digit code that defines what you are buying. I will click Search and search for fitness equipment in the bottom bar, which wants letters, and select my commodity code. If you did not know what to search for, you can use the commodity code favorite Excel files on the web to find what you are looking for. The last thing on this page is health and safety. If any of these things apply to what you're ordering, check the corresponding box. This sends a notification to campus health and safety to let them know what is on campus in case of an emergency. Once everything is completed, it's time to put the leg press in the cart. At the top of the screen, there are available actions. The first and most common is add and go to cart. This will take the leg press, put it in your cart, and take you to the first page of checkout. Second, add to cart and return, which will add the form to the cart, then empty out the order information, but keep the supplier so you can order something else from that supplier. Add to cart will add this to your cart and allow you to stay on this page. Add to draft cart or pending requisition and add to new cart are both used when you're working on multiple carts at a time and want to direct where this form will go. And lastly, add to favorites will put the form in your favorites so you can order the same thing quickly at another time. I will add and go to cart and go to the first page of my checkout. I will walk through the proceed to checkout one more time. Since I saved the shipping and billing addresses, the only tabs I need to complete here are the General tab and the Accounting Codes tab. In the General tab, I will search for my budgetary unit number and select, and answer no to all of the following questions. I do not need trademark and licensing. I do not need legal review, or I'm not purchasing software, and I am not taking payments. So I can save and get a green check in General. Next, I can hop over to the accounting codes where I can edit and select my budgetary unit one more time. Select from all values to find my cost center, and select from all values to find my category. Once I have all green checks at the top, I can assign the cart, and I can either search for an assignee, or since I saved my assignee to my profile, I can select them and assign. I'm given a requisition number, and now we have done a non-catalog order with checkout. The final thing I will show you is how to find where your requisition is once it has been submitted. When you assign your cart to the requester, they must place an order before you can search for it. Once they do, you can go to Shop, My Carts and Orders, and view my orders for the last 90 days. This will pull up your most recent orders. Click on the requisition number you want to view. I will look at the Belson order. This page looks like the final review page where you can see everything completed on a requisition. Click on the PR Approvals tab to see the workflow your requisition is going through. This shows all the steps and approvals needed to get a PO. The cart validations are making sure everything required in Razorby is there. The Restrict Withdraw is the requisition electronically leaving Razorby and going to Basis. The PR validation to and from Basis is the requisition in Basis. This means your target chain. No one is ever listed under View Approvers here because the approvers are in Basis, not in Razorby. You must go to Basis to see the target chain list. Once the target chain approves the requisition, it electronically comes back to Razorby where it hits the Create PO stage, where the requisition is turned into a PO and sent to the supplier. Another helpful tab is the History tab. This lists everything that has been entered on a requisition and who edited it. This is also where the reason your cart has been returned can be found. If a cart is returned to you, come to the History tab, and in the top lines under the Notes section will be the reason it was sent back and what is needed to resubmit. Today, we have reviewed business services, the Razorby website, and how to shop the system with a catalog and non-catalog order, the checkout process, and how to review your carts. Thank you for watching.